Audio Jungle.
Hi guys, welcome to my video, and in this video we will discuss the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, some bacteria, and some protists use the energy of sunlight to produce glucose from carbon dioxide and water. This glucose can be converted into pyruvate, which releases adenosine triphosphate by cellular respiration and another process. Oxygen also formed. Photosynthesis may be summarized by the word equation. The conversion of usable sunlight energy into chemical energy is associated with the action of green pigment chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a complex molecule. Several modifications of chlorophyll occur among plants and other photosynthetic organisms. All photosynthetic organisms have chlorophyll A. Accessory pigments absorb energy that chlorophyll does not absorb. Accessory pigments include chlorophyll B, also C, D, and E in algae and protists, xanthophylls, and carotenoids such as beta-carotene. Chlorophyll A absorbs its energy from the violet, blue, and reddish, orange, red wavelengths, and little from the intermediate green, yellow, orange wavelengths. Now, let's move on to leaves and leaf structure. Plants are the only photosynthetic organisms to have leaves, and not all plants have leaves. A leaf may be viewed as a solar collector crammed full of photosynthetic cells. The raw material of photosynthesis, such as water and carbon dioxide, enter the cells of the leaf, and the products of photosynthesis, such as sugar and oxygen, leave the leaf. Water enters the root and is transported to the leaves through a specialized plant cells known as xylem vessels. Land plants must guard against drying out and so have evolved specialized structures known as stomata to allow gas to enter and leave the leaf. Carbon dioxide cannot pass through the protective waxy layer covering of the leaf, the cuticle, but it can enter the leaf through the stoma, the singular of stomata, flanked by two guard cells. Likewise, oxygen produced during photosynthesis can only pass out the leaf through the opened stomata. Unfortunately for the plant, while these gases are moving between the inside and outside of the leaf, a great deal of water is also lost. The thylakoid is the structural unit of photosynthesis, and light reaction takes place. Both photosynthetic prokaryotes and eukaryotes have these flattened sac vesicles containing photosynthetic chemicals. Only eukaryotes have chloroplast with surrounding membrane. Thylakoids are stuck like pancakes in stalks known collectively as grana. These areas between grana are referred to as stroma, where Calvin cycle takes place and another process. So this is the photosynthesis as chemical reaction. This is why plant grows. It gets its water from the roots and carbon dioxide on the leaves through stomata. After this reaction, we get glucose on what we eat and oxygen that we breathe. And if we put an arrow back vice versa, it will be a cellular respiration. Photosynthesis is a two-stage process, the light-dependent reactions and the light-independent reaction. The light-dependent reactions, series of reactions which occur in the grana and requires the direct energy of light to make energy carrier molecules that are used in the second process. Light energy is trapped by chlorophyll to make ATP, photophosphorylation. At the same time, water is split into oxygen, hydrogen ions, and free electrons. Photolysis. The electrons then react with a carrier molecule, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide phosphate or the NAD, changing it from its oxidized state to its reduced state, the NAD. So first, the light coming here, and the next thing coming in is the water molecules from the roots. This is the stroma, and this is the lumen, the inside of the thylakoids. This is the proteins with chlorophyll on the inside called photosystem. The light will power the movement of the electron transport chain until it reaches the NAD. As one of the product of light-dependent reactions, the water will be split and you will get oxygen and diffuse out the cell, and that we are actually breathing right now, the oxygen that it releases. And we'll get these protons which is hydrogen ions that lost its electrons. As the electrons move through the electrons transport chain, energized by light from here, when electrons move from proteins, it's pumping protons in the inside. So when we have positive charge, they have gone in the protein here called ATP synthase. And every time the proton moves through, we make another ATP. In light reaction, we made NAD and ATP and sitting down in the stroma and ready for the Calvin cycle. In summary, the light gives energy and the water gives electrons. And waste is the oxygen that we breathe and the plant releases. The next process is the light-independent reactions. A light-independent reactions is a series of reactions which occur in the stroma of the chloroplast. When the products of the light reaction, ATP and NAD, are used to make carbohydrates from the carbon dioxide through reduction, initially glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate carbon atom molecule is formed. So what's happening in the Calvin cycle? This is our reactants, the ATP, adenosine triphosphate here, and here are the NAD. The molecule here, ribulose diphosphate, that have 5 carbon molecule and 2 phosphate, and we have the input of carbon dioxide coming in from stomata of the leaf, and from couple of processes from the enzymes from combining the 6 carbon molecules ribulose diphosphate and 1 carbon molecule of carbon dioxide and breaking to 3 carbon molecule addition of ATP and NAD. And if that happens, we have the results down here, the G3P or the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and can be assembled to glucose, maltose, and another sugars just because of this G3P. Here, we are synthesizing the carbon dioxide and fixing to make it usable. Some of the G3P are released, but many are recycled again to make this ribulose diphosphate, and that's make it a cycle. Without this ATP and NAD, the entire cycle will shut down. So that's how photosynthesis, light dependent and light independent process, Calvin cycle. So I think that's it. I hope it's helpful.